Today's BUSD tutorial will be on Google Classroom. Classroom is a new tool in Google Apps for education that helps teachers create and organize assignments quickly, provide feedback efficiently, and easily communicate with their classes. Classroom helps students organize their work in Google Drive, complete and turn it in, and communicate directly with their teachers and peers. Today, you will become familiar with Google Classroom. You know you will be a Google Classroom guru when you can create and organize assignments quickly, provide feedback efficiently, and easily communicate with your classes. Today's video tutorial will include activating your student account, creating a class for students to join, and finally, designing assignments, posts, and announcements for your classroom.
Before we get started with the Google Classroom tutorial, we must make sure to activate our student account. Remember, if you are using your Google Classroom with students, you must use your S.account so you are on the same platform as the students. If you don't do this and you use your teacher account with the students, they will not have access to the assignments that you post, the documents that you share with them. So it's super important that you activate your student account. Okay, so in order to do that, you're going to go ahead and you're going to be logged into your computer. I would like you to push Control-Alt-Delete, and there's an option to change your password. Go ahead and click on Change Your Password. Once you click on your password, it's going to ask for your old one. And then it says to create a new password. I suggest, so that you don't forget, perhaps just switching, if it was a lowercase at the beginning of your password, just switching it to possibly an uppercase. So go ahead and do that. Once you've typed in your password, you're going to go to the arrow here and click the arrow. Okay, and then it will say that your password has been changed, and you can click OK. I now have my student account activated. My teacher email has that same new password, so that password for your teacher account and the password for your S.account or your student account is now the same. So just remember, whatever you just switched your password to for your student account, that is now your teacher account's password. Okay, so now it's activated, and then we can go ahead and let's begin the Google Classroom tutorial.
All right, so you want to make sure that you go to your apps and you click on your Classroom app. Once it loads, you will see a screen like this. Now, you want to double check to make sure that you're in your S.account, which is your student account. Anytime you interact with the students using this classroom, you must always be in your S.account. Okay, so getting started using a classroom, no matter what role you're using, you're always going to be a teacher. That's not going to change. I know that we're using your student account, but we are setting up the classroom for your students, so your role will always be teacher. So go ahead and click on teacher. Once you click on teacher, you're going to be prompted to create your first class. Go ahead and click on the plus sign. And you can join a class, maybe a colleague that's already has one, or you can create a class. Today we're going to create a class. It asks for a name. This is Mr. Little's class. And section could be maybe your period, it can be your room number, or you can just go ahead and leave it blank. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to push create. Your account is now created, and it kind of does a preset theme for you, but you can go over to this button here and you can select a different theme if you'd like, and there's plenty that they have here, or you can go ahead and you can just leave it as it is. You can upload a photo. It just depends on what you want to put. Okay, so before we talk about this actual interface, I want you to pay attention to the class code here. This is your class's code. It does not change. So when your students go to join your class, you must give them this exact code, okay, so that they can join your class. So this will always be here and you won't have to worry about losing that. Okay, so you basically have created your class. Now, if you go to the stream here, this is where all your posts, your assignments, your announcements will be. You can either choose to show deleted items. You can not. I usually hide them, so I don't need to see them anymore. You can take a tour. It's always nice to take a tour to maybe familiarize yourself with the interface. Students, right now, I don't have any students in here, but as your students join, it will be a list of their names and their email address. This is a super important little section. You can have where students can post and comment to each other back and forth. You can do where students can only comment, or you can do teacher only can post or comment. It's completely up to you and the structure of your class or what you're trying to do with your Google Classroom. If you go to this last tab, About, it's just kind of the class overview. You have your Drive folder that it's automatically created in your Google Drive once you have created your class. You can view in the calendar, you can open the Google Classroom assignments in your calendar. So it's just some options here, but we're going to go back to the stream. Down here at the plus sign, just as it is in any other Google app, you're going to go ahead and push the plus sign. You can reuse a post, so something that you've already done. You can create a question. You can create an assignment, or you can create an announcement. If you click on create a question, it's, gives you a little rundown. You can create a question. Whatever your question may be, you go ahead and type it. Instructions, make sure you use complete sentences. Don't forget to add your student ID number, whatever your instructions may be. Due date. If you have a definite day and time that you want your students to turn this in by, then use this. If you're a little bit more flexible, kind of elementary schools are a little bit more flexible, I just say go ahead and remove the due date so it's not a late assignment. Okay. Students can edit the answer. So if they push submit and they realize I spelled something wrong or I want to add more, if you leave this checked as in yes, they'll be able to edit it. If you only want them to be able to answer it once, you would leave it turned off. Students can reply to each other. A way for some student interaction, you can leave that checked. If you don't want them to interact with each other, you would uncheck it. Okay. If you want to add an attachment, so with that question, you wanted them to look at an attachment, you would add a file here. That maybe perhaps there's something on your Google Drive that you want to attach to this question, then you can go ahead and do that. If there's a video, watch this video. Tell me 3 things you learned about it. You could go ahead and you could search for videos here, or if you have the URL, you could type in the URL. Up to you. And finally, link. Perhaps you have a website that you want the students to go to first, do some research, and then you have some questions for them. Then you would put your web address here. Okay. Once you are done, you can go ahead and you can push ask, and that will be in your feed. You can create an assignment. Same idea. Title of the assignment, instructions for the assignment, your due date. You can attach, you can a document from maybe Google Docs, something from your Drive. Once again, attach a video that you want them to watch, a certain website that you want them to go to, and then you would push assign. All of this is going to be in your thread or in your stream. Create an announcement. This one, don't forget to turn in field trip money by Friday. Don't forget that you have a paper due. So it's just an announcement letting the students know what's to come or what that you want them to know. You can attach things, you can have them watch another video. It just depends. And then you would go ahead and you would push post. So that's basically the rundown of Google Classroom. You really can't go wrong.
I'm really excited using Google Classroom in my room. I started using it because we needed to prepare for the writing prompt, for the district writing prompt, and we were doing an informative writing. So I created lessons that helped my students learn how to use the sources to answer prompts on Google Classroom. I also worked in our power words in the questions so that they could learn to use those words and respond to them, in preparing them for the SBAC later on. Also, I wanted to work in structured partner interaction, and I do that because they respond to questions on the lesson itself, and they're posted, and the students are able to see what other students post and then respond back to them. Google Classroom has just changed my teaching 100%. It is so exciting to watch the kids learn and grow from it, and my role has changed. Instead of doing a lot of directed teaching, I'm now a facilitator, and I'm going around supporting them. I've created the lessons, and then they're taking it to the next level and responding to each other, and it's really exciting to see first graders learn as much as they've learned.
Okay, what is Google Classroom?
Google Classroom is a type of thing that you do on the Chromebooks.
Yeah, what kind of things do you do on the Chromebooks?
We do games, and we watch videos, and we see pictures on there that Miss Howard posts for us so we can get a better look.
Have you had to answer any questions that have been on Google Classroom?
No.
Not yet. And how about, do you like using Google Classroom?
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
I like about it that we have like the game and Starfall and all that stuff.
Kind of stuff. Okay, anything else you want to say about using it in the classroom?
Yeah, it's a Chromebook that you use, and so you can know stuff that it has its information to get looks of the stuff you think about, and you learn on there so you can get smarter.
Very cool. Thank you so much, sweetie.